right, ladies and gents, it's 1:30, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Welcome. All right, we'll go ahead and start. We'll start with saying who's present. We'll start with Bill Lyon, who is absent. Jane Roberts.
Present.
Scott Shamel.
Present.
Mark Dukes.
Present.
Stephanie Taylor, present. Now we would like to call the order. First on order is approval of the minutes of the previous business meeting held on Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, so moved. All in favor? We have reports regarding litigation.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Nothing to report, Madam Chair, thank you.
George? Can you hear me?
I have us muted. Oh my goodness, sorry y'all.
You want to
So sorry. We were muted.
He's in timeout.
My fault. We are now unmuted.
Hey, George, do you hear me?
I do hear you.
All right, awesome.
So-
Do you have anything
It's,
to
I'm
report?
sorry about that. I didn't think you all had started yet. So,
All that I've done and you didn't know.
yeah, the mute threw me off. I thought
Yes.
maybe you were waiting for somebody else or something like that. So let me guess. You asked me, do I have a litigation report for this month?
I did.
The answer is nothing to report this month. So I spent more time apologizing than I did giving you a report. So.
Right.
He's a camera hog.
All righty, thank you guys. Report 3, we'll have civil service staff report.
Sure. And I didn't realize until this morning that today is the 24th anniversary of my hire. I was hired
Oh,
today.
congratulations.
They snuck up on me. Just some updates since we're having a meeting. We have concluded the firefighter recruit and the police officer recruit application, selection, and referral processes. Those have been closed out. Fire selected 38 potential firefighter recruits, and KPD selected 49 potential police recruits. We have signed off on that. Those have gone over to HR, and Kelly will update you on what's happening at this stage on her side. I wanted to let you know that IT put in a funding request to completely replace our HRIS software. So that is what houses on our side. That's what's going to house our employee processes, our applicant processes, our application, the applicant portal, how we screen and process those applications, maintain our eligibility register, process our referrals, and we're pretty excited about getting that project underway. They did a demo of the new product. We had seen sort of a pre-demo before they put in the funding request, but we all, HR and IT and civil service, we were all pretty excited about it. They did get approval for that funding, so that project will officially be kicking off, and we got a demo of what our piece of the process would look like, and it is going to be tremendous. That best guess, I think Mark said it looks like we're probably going to be working on this for about a year, trying to get this rolled out. So we're pretty excited about it. It's going to do a lot of things that we really need, and it's a very nice looking product. So we're pretty excited about that. We are working on a validation piece to update our master firefighter, fire officer, and fire assistant chief exams. This is something standard that we do regularly. The fire department likes to change those exams every time we use them. So we do an update with our vendor, and we replace a set portion of those items. So we're working through that process right now. Those are probably going to be posting, my best guess is in early July, anytime between now and early July, depending on what that time frame is going to look like, how long it might take to update those exams, because we don't want to do it too soon and then have everyone sitting there waiting for the exam to be ready. These next two items I'm gonna treat together. It's not as ominous as it sounds, but it is a board matter, so I just wanna make sure that you guys are aware what it means and, it's why it's a function of the board, just in case there are questions or these issues ever come up later, when I'm not here to tell you what they are. So we had, one was actually an official transfer. There was a division of the inspections department that the city wanted to transfer to the public service department. That required a code change to move that division of codes enforcement from inspections back over to public service. And in the board's section of the charter, it does say that no official of the city or department head can transfer an employee from one department to another without that employee's consent. So what we do, our role, civil services role there, is simply to provide a consent to transfer. And assuming that every employee consents to transfer, it's a very simple process. And thankfully that was the case. Every employee simply signed the consent to transfer. They were happy to move back over to the public service department. So that has been completed. I think that's actually effective July 1st, but the paperwork is in order. That is good to go. The second one is similar, but because it's not actually a division that's moving, these are skilled trades crafts workers in the police department. That division isn't moving to public service, but police recently moved into the new public safety facility, and so there's no longer a need for their own maintenance individuals because that is provided, I believe, by PBA at the new building. What we don't want to do is obviously lay people off that have been good employees and have been with the city for some time. So the city actually created new vacancies in the public service department where they have a facilities services division that employs skilled trades crafts workers to take care of all of the other city facilities. So it has to be technically treated as a layoff just to ensure all paperwork is in order, just in case there's a hiccup. But essentially what they're doing is unbudgeting the vacancies in police and budgeting the vacancies in public service, then allowing these employees the opportunity to transfer rather than have their position simply eliminated.
But there's no adverse employment action.
Correct. No loss in pay, no loss in seniority, no loss in status, just an absolute lateral transfer. The reason I say technically it doesn't fall under layoff, the city is not obligated under a layoff, under our rules and our layoff procedures, the city is not obligated to fill a vacancy. So the city actually did make the decision to create these vacancies and offer those opportunities to these employees. I believe one employee has already signed the consent to transfer over. I don't have anything from the second one yet, but I did set that deadline for Friday, so hopefully he'll make his decision by Friday. But just wanted you to know about those processes because they're unusual, they don't happen often, and technically they fall under, a piece of them falls under the board. Any questions on that? A little non-standard. The only other thing I wanted to let you know is just give you an update on that promotional testing issue that we discussed at the board meeting last month, where we can maybe expedite those non-competitive type promotions in uniformed. I did reach out to both Chief Sharp and Chief Noel, let them know how that could be accomplished, let them know what those options were, and ask them to just discuss that with their command staff and let me know anytime prior to when we need to conduct those processes again, which is not anytime soon. So they have some time to chew on it, think about it, talk to their staff, and make a decision on whether they'd like to keep the formal written exam in place or whether they would like to move to a more expedited process where we use a training and experience questionnaire in lieu of that exam. So right now they're considering it, and I'll update you as needed on what changes we might make to that process. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Field. Next we have on the order is an HR report from Dr. Drummond.
Good afternoon, everyone. This will be very quick. I wanted to let you all know that we are updating our hybrid work policy. I talked about it last month, but I wanted to give you a little bit of update. We've worked with most of the departments on job descriptions, and because we have that, We've been working with George. We have an intern I'm gonna introduce you shortly. And we should have a new hybrid work policy to present to the mayor in July, mid to late July, and it will go into effect on August 1st. So we're really excited about that. I wanted to also remind you all about Mary Margaret. Mary is our talent acquisition person, and she's been working with every department on succession planning. And so as we're looking, we are not doing direct recruiting, but as we're looking to think about what is happening in the future, Mary Margaret has met with every department and has a plan to think about succession planning and what's the talent acquisition going to look like over the next 36 months. So you'll hear more about that as well. The bonus payouts, it was due, all departments had their information that was due in May, but unfortunately, not all departments have turned in all of their bonus payouts. We have to get them paid out before the end of the year. What that is that every department has a 0.5% that they can use to pay out to individuals. So we're working on that and trying to get that paid out as well. Our summer and the intern position, we have Edith, and her name is Edith Kipono, I mess it up every time. Edith is a junior at UT and she's an HR major. So we are so excited to have her on board with us. She is working on that hybrid work policy and doing lots and lots of research with other municipalities. So very excited about that as well. And then I wanted to let you know about the police and fire. As Dr. Hatfield said before, now that it's coming to us, we're getting ready to start psychologicals. We're also working with the fire department. They've completed all of their interviews and working with them for those next steps so we can start hopefully both academies. Police will be in at the end of September and fire will be at the beginning. So we're looking forward to that as well. And then the last but not least, we're going to talk about benchmarking positions. We're working with MTAS. And as we're now getting ready to go into the new fiscal year, we will be looking at what positions need to be benchmarked. We've gone 1 year past our work with our previous company that did our compensation study. So we're going to work with departments to determine what positions need to be benchmarked and need to do. We also work with Dr. Hatfield's department, Civil Service, to look at past procedures. And so we're working with MTAS put out a survey, and we will be doing that, and we'll be able to present that information in the fall. Thank you. That's it.
What's probably a stupid question? What's benchmarked?
Benchmark positions, specific positions that we need to look at. So, for example, one positions that we know that we're going to look at is actually next door, Savannah Kirk's specific position. So her director has asked for us to look at those positions. We will, when we look at those, we will benchmark them with other municipalities to determine if the pay is in the right range, how we look at the job description. So we'll be doing, I guess you would consider a mini itty bitty survey, salary study. But you benchmark specific positions, and we have not determined what positions we will benchmark. We're working with each department. Each of the HR generalists are going to work with their departments to determine. We know that there are several positions in the engineering department that is requested to be benchmarked and looked at again this year. So those will be certain positions. So we do not expect, last year we looked at all of it was 300 positions. We're not gonna do that. So in our mind, we're thinking at the most 30. That's what we think, at the most. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Drummond. Next, we'll go to unfinished business. Any? New business. Request by Police Chief Paul Noel to exempt one position of Office Assistant 3 to use as a temporary hire for up to 1 year to assist in the payroll office. There's an attachment for the exemption request, KPD.
You can find that under tab 5 if you need to take a peek at it. This is pretty standard. There's nothing unusual about this request. But if you have questions, we do have
We do have.
Tammy DeBow and David Powell from KPD.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Do we have other business? Such other businesses may come before this board. Alrighty, well, this looks like it's gonna close out our meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to quit.
Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. In time, 1:45.